Hello everyone, welcome to another week. This is week 6 of our 12 weeks of Christmas countdown. We are halfway through. I cannot believe it. This is what we're making today. Isn't this little tag just the cutest? I can't get over how cute this tag is. I think it is just adorable. And the box is pretty cute too. It's a little bit unique and I think you're gonna like it. So before we get to this though, let's get over everything that's in front of me and go over everything that's in front of me. My name is Ruth Norton with Ruth's Stamping Corner, and I'm so glad you're here to join me today. Now, there's a lot going on this month. We have a sales promotion, join promotion, paper pumpkin. There's a lot going on this month, so let's go over it all. So Eden's Garden, this is our early release bundle. So this bundle is actually a sneak peek. It's an early release of what's coming in our occasions catalog, or our January through June mini catalog. The bundle will be in the catalog and it will carry over into the mini catalog. But these 3 items, the papers and the gems, are only available while supplies last. So if these are items that you really like, you might want to consider getting these 3 items quickly because, again, while supplies last could mean a short time, it could mean a long time. We really have no idea how long that's going to be. Again, the bundle is available now. It will be in the next mini catalog as well. So check out the Eden's Garden products. They're in my online store. You can head to my online store and check it out. All right, paper pumpkin. We have the Gifts Galore paper pumpkin. Now the last day to subscribe to this is Wednesday. I believe Wednesday is November 10th. This is going to be 9 oversized treat boxes. There's food safe bags in it. You're going to get an exclusive stamp set, an ink spot, all the little pieces you need to create everything. And, you know, this box is just going to be so adorable. So make sure you subscribe by Wednesday to get November's paper pumpkin. There's a link to subscribe in the video description. Don't miss November's paper pumpkin. It's going to be cute. I cannot wait. All right, let's talk about joining Stampin' Up. So our Start with Savings promotion kicked off earlier this week. It kicked off on Thursday, I believe. And this is the best deal I've seen in a really long time for our starter kit. You can get our starter kit, which means you sign up to become a demonstrator, for $75. That's $125 in value though, because you get to choose $125 in product, but you're only going to pay $75 for all those things. Now it does mean that you are signing up to be a demonstrator, but what that means is that you're going to get a discount on product. You're going to get to see new products early. You're going to get to order new products early. You get to be part of my amazing team and so many other benefits. Now, what it doesn't mean is that you do not have to sell. You do not have to do classes. You do not have to do Facebook Lives. You don't have to do any of that. Stampin' Up! Gives you the freedom to be a demonstrator in the way that you want to be a demonstrator. So you can build a business. You can do what I'm doing. But you don't have to. There's no rule that says you have to do the selling, you have to do this, you have to do that. You can join and just get a discount. So if your wish list is $75, you might want to consider just purchasing this, getting $125 in product, and then enjoying a discount on everything else. So this is such a good deal. There's no requirements to sell or do anything. You can just be your own best customer. And I think that 100% of demonstrators are their own best customers. So I'd love to have you on my team. If you'd like to talk more about this, I'd love to talk to you more. If you are interested in joining, there's a link in the video description. All right, guys, last time, well, no, I'll tell you again on Wednesday, but one of the last times I'm going to tell you about Card Crate. This month's Card Crate features the Tidings and Trimmings bundle. The last day to RSVP for this month's Card Crate is on the 12th. I think that's Friday. So the bundle, I have the dies over here. We're actually going to use the dies a little bit today. So I have the dies over here ready to go, but the Tidings and Trimmings bundle, this is a class to go. This is a class that will come in your mailbox. You're going to get enough supplies to make 2 of each card. So you're going to make 8 each, or 8 total, 2 of each of these 4 designs. It's a class that comes in your mailbox. It's $35. You get free shipping. You get $20 in products. You get all the supplies for those 8 cards, so it's a really great deal. And remember, you have to subscribe, or RSVP, not subscribe. It's not a subscription. It's just a class you have to RSVP for. You have to RSVP by Friday, the 12th. All right, I think we're ready to create our little project. Isn't it cute? All right, so let me show you what's kind of unique about this. And I'm actually going to show you a separate version of how to make this. So this one, you do have to untie to open your box. So we're just going to untie this beautiful gray granite ribbon. We're gonna untie this. You just pull the ribbon out, and then it is like there's little flaps in here that holds everything secure, and inside is the little Marshmallow Santa. Now, last week I gave you guys a choice. Do you want to see the Marshmallow Santa or the Reese's? I think it's a tree. I think, you know, it was pretty even, but I think that the Santa had one out. But don't worry, I'm going to do a project with the Reese's tree. So if you wanted the Reese's trees, don't worry. I'm still going to do a project, and they'll probably actually fit in here too. So you can make this for the Reese's one if you want. So the little flaps fold over, and then the big flaps fold over, and then you can tie this up. This is actually glued onto the box. I did adhere this onto the box, but I'm going to show you how you can just turn this into a belly band and then just slide it on and off. So you have two different options. So you can make this all one box where they have to untie it to get into their treat, or you can just make it a belly band where they don't necessarily have to untie it. So let me tie this back up real quick. It's not going to be a pretty bow, but it'll be tied up. So this is what we're making today, and we're actually going to start with the stamping and just work on our tag, okay? So let's do that. So let me grab a scrap piece of white. We're going to do our stamping. Now, the stamp set that I'm using today is the Joyful Life stamp set. This is in our mini catalog. This one does not have dies, but I think that it is so cute. And this is one that you can definitely use year round. You have the little pig down here, which could be for fall or winter. He's got his little cup and his scarf, so that could be for fall or winter. But this little guy up here, I think, could easily be for spring or for fall, even summer. I know he's wearing a sweater, but I think that that's okay. And then this one is for, you know, Thanksgiving or Christmas. So whatever you want. I think this is a great little year-round or even fall set. Now we're going to be coloring him with Stampin' Blends. We're using the little hedgehog guy here. And so I'm going to stamp him with our Memento ink. And again, I just have a scrap piece of white here. We're going to be fussy cutting him, so just look through your scraps. Whatever scraps you have will be fine. All right, we're going to set that aside. And while we're doing our stamping, I have another scrap piece of white, and we're going to stamp our greeting in Night of Navy. So this greeting is from that Joyful Life stamp set. This is our season's greeting. And we're gonna be die cutting that in a minute. So just stamp it on your scrap piece of white, and we're gonna set that one aside. We'll come back to that one. But first, let's do our coloring. So I'm going to start, let's see, I'm gonna start with his apron. So I'm gonna use my Night of Navy blends. Now all of my supplies will be listed on my blog and on the YouTube video. So if you ever want to know what colors I used, you can head to my blog or check my YouTube video where all the supplies are listed. I'm starting with my dark Night of Navy, and so I did a little bit of the bow, and I'm going around the outside of the little apron there with the dark, and then I'm going to come in with my light, and we'll finish up the bow. This is a pretty small image, so there's not a lot of room to do a whole lot of shading, so I'm just going to really just kind of go over those areas. Now the apron, you have a little bit more room, so I'm going to go in like circular motions over those darker areas and just kind of blend it out. I want the center to be the lightest area, so I'm not going to go over the center too much. I just want to blend out that little apron. So cute, right? All right, so that's Night of Navy. I'll set that aside. I'm going to move on to Crumb Cake. This is the little face and hands and feet. So I'm going to start with my dark again. When I color with Stampin' Blends, I like to start with my darker color, but you can start with the lighter color. It doesn't matter. We're actually going to do the lighter one in just a minute. It's really just a preference of how you want to color. So I'm just going around where all of his little, I don't know what you call them on hedgehogs, the little, I want to say bristles. Why do I keep wanting to say bristles? I don't, that's not the word. The little spine or whatever you call it on hedgehogs. I don't know. But I'm just going around where those would overlap on his face and his hands. And so I'm just giving his face a little bit of color. I'm going over those darker areas just to blend them out. But the outside of his face is going to be a little bit whiter or a little bit darker. Now I'm going to come in with my light flirty flamingo while my crumb cake is wet and just give him a little bit of a rosy cheek. All right. Now we'll go back in with our light. We'll do his hands. Again, these areas are small, so there's not a lot of room for doing a lot of blending. And then his little feet down here. All right, isn't he already so cute? All right, so let's go in with our cinnamon cider. Now, this time I am going to start with my light. And I'm going to use my brush tip. I don't use my brush tip a lot, I think I have better control with my little bullet tip, but because this is a larger area and I am just looking to give it some good coverage, I'm going to go ahead and just pull out my brush tip and it'll go a little bit faster. So I'm just covering all of his body here with the light crumb cake. We're not going to do a lot of blending on this, so I just want to make sure that it's all nice and evenly coated with the light. We're going to come in with the dark and just highlight a lot of those. It's not fur. What am I thinking of? I had the name in my head earlier, the little term for hedgehogs, and then I just lost it. So all I'm doing is just kind of dabbing where all of those little bristles, or whatever you call them, where they all are. And I'm not going over the whole thing. You can see that there's some light and dark areas. And so I'm just coloring those in. I'm just giving a little bit of shading and texture. So that's crumb cake. Let's see. Let's move on to gray granite. We're going to do the bowl. And so I'm going to go back to my dark. We're going to start with the dark. And where she's holding it, I'm just going to go around. So wherever you want it to be darkest, and then just around the side here. I want the center to be the lightest of the bowl because bowls are round. So when you're looking at something round, the very center is always going to be the lightest because that's where the light is hitting it. So I'm going to blend out all this color, all these edges before I go into the center. And then I'm just going to lightly go into the center. And that's going to make sure that that the center is the lightest part of that. Let me bring in this so we can see what we're doing. And you can see once it dries, that center is nice and light. All right, let me put the lid on that. We only have 2 more colors to do. I have Poppy Parade here. Now, I don't know what's in this little bowl here. I think they look like cranberries to me, but they could be apples, I guess. Maybe, probably not pumpkins. I think they're cranberries. So I'm coloring them in Poppy Parade. So the dark Poppy Parade, I put on the very bottom of all of those little cranberries, I'm calling them. And then I'm just going to go in with the light on top of all of those. I'm not doing a lot of blending. Again, it's a very small area, so there's no need for a lot of blending. And now our final color is going to be Granny Apple Green. And we're just going to do this little holly leaf down here. Just the little corner is going to be dark. And then with my light, I'm just going to bring in just a little bit of light there. All right, so that is our little stamping. Isn't she cute? I love it. I love all of those colors, and there's really not a lot of shading. We really just use those markers just to add some color. Now you're going to need to fussy cut this. Again, there's no dies. So through the magic of television, I've already fussy cut one, so we don't have to watch that. All right, so let's get the rest of our tag pieces together. So we're making the tag first, and then we'll move on to the box. So I have pre-die cut a tag from our tailor-made tags dies. So this is the second largest of that, the one with the clipped corners. You could also use these tags over here. For some reason, I'm always drawn to these tags. So either one, and then make sure that while you're cutting out those tags, make sure you cut out the little reinforcement too. So this is Night and Navy, this is Gray Granite. I have also die cut, let's see, I'm trying to find all my dies so I can show you guys. With my layering circles dies, I'm die cut a scalloped circle and a regular circle. I think this is the third largest of each of those. So in Gray Granite and white. And then with my Christmas trimmings dies, I've die cut one of the little holly leaf clusters here. So let me see. So these little holly leaves over here. I've die cut those with Granny Apple Green. So you have 2 of those. And then for our greeting, we're using the Give It a Whirl dies. These are some of my favorite dies. I love these, and we're actually going to die cut our greeting with this little die. This is going to just die cut a little rectangle. I love this size. It's so good. So I'm going to grab a piece of Post-it tape. I'm going to do it kind of off to the right side because we're going to add our little cluster of holly leaves right there. So let me grab my mini cut and emboss, and we'll just die cut this really quick. Let me pull that out. All my markers out of the way. All right, so unfold your little die cutting machine. This die cutting machine is so fabulous, and you can add it to your starter kit. You can get your starter kit, remember, for $75. So you can add this to your starter kit, and you'll still have plenty of money left over in your starter kit shopping to purchase maybe some dies or whatever else. A few bundles maybe. All right, I'm gonna put this aside. This folds up, just lives on my desk. It's the best tool. Okay, and then we'll just take out our little greeting here. Isn't that cute? I love it. It's the perfect size, I think. All right, so let's get everything, all of our little pieces assembled before we lose them all. So I'm gonna use liquid glue for this. You could use adhesive sheets or you could use glue dots. Actually, I'm just gonna put the glue on the tag. So just a little bit around that hole on that tag. You just put on your little reinforcer. We're just gonna let that dry. And I just love that look. It just completes it. So the Holly Punch, you know, it probably would. These are about, I don't have the Holly Punch. These are about 3/4 of an inch long. So, but you know what, you can make them smaller, you can make them larger. So whatever hollies you have. I know there's a little holly die in the stockings dies too. So you can do that too. All right, so I'm just going to adhere these down. Again, glue dots would work just fine. I just use my liquid glue. Those are just going on the edge of my tag there. All right, now to add our little berries, I'm going to use the Wonderful Gems. These are in the mini catalog. So I'm just going to use these small ones. I'm going to use 3 of the small ones. Just do 1, 2, and 3. I think they're so cute. And they have little specks of gold in them, so they're extra sparkly. They're really, really pretty. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Let's bring back in our little tag. And I'm going to again just bring out my liquid glue. We're going to glue the circle just onto the front. We're just going to kind of center that just a little bit as best we can, and then we'll stick this down to our scallop circle on the back, just like that. And that just makes such a pretty little layer for our tag. And you can make a bunch of these tags. You could give them away as gifts. The tags would even fit in the box. Let me see. So you could fit the tags in the box if you just want to make a box of tags and give it away. That would be a really cute gift. All right. Now these two are going to go on with dimensionals. So let me grab some dimensionals. So we're going to put some glue on the back of our greeting piece here. So the back, I'm going to do, yeah, I'll do 2. So the back of our greeting piece, get the backings off of these. Okay, that's sticky. And then on the back of our hedgehog, I'm going to do, I think 3. Just kind of spread them out there. Peel off all these dimensional backings and move all our trash out of the side, off to the side. We're going to stick on our little hedgehog, and then we'll stick the greeting right below her. I'm just going to tuck her little feet right on top of that greeting. Make sure everything is nice and straight. Isn't that cute? So cute. I love it. Okay, so there's the tag. Now you can, again, just make a whole stack of these tags and give them away. Okay, let's get to our box now. All right, for the box, you're going to need your Simply Scored. Pull that out. I always have that tucked away. All right, you're going to need your Simply Scored, and the box is going to be a piece of cardstock that is 8 3/4 by 8 1/4. And we're going to do some scoring on it. So on the 8 1/4 inch side, you're going to score it at 1 and 2 on each side. So 1 and 2, and then turn it all the way around. So it's on the 8 1/4 inch side, and you're going to score it at 1 and 2. Now on the 8 3/4 inch side, you're going to score at 2 and 3 on both sides. So 2, 3, rotate it all the way around, and then do 2 and 3 again. All right, that is our scoring. Let me get my scoreboard out of the way. Grab your bone folders. And we're going to fold on all of those score lines. Now remember, if you do need to shop for supplies, head to my online store. This is my November host code. All orders will receive a PDF with 3 exclusive projects. If your order is over $50 or more, you're also going to receive the Make and Take kit for those projects. This month's projects are so adorable. They feature the Penguin Place bundle, and they are some of my favorite projects ever. I just love them. So if you want to get that PDF, make sure you're placing an order in my online store and using that host code. All right, so we're going to do some trimming now. So I'm going to actually start, this is the short side, the 8 1/4 inch side is this way, and we are going to cut, this is the second score line from the left, we're going to cut all the way down to that second score line. Okay, we're going to cut off these 2 rectangles. Oh, I didn't cut that straight, there we go. So we're going to cut off these 2 rectangles, and then we're also going to cut off this one right here, this one square right here. So that's how you're going to trim it. Now we are going to notch these squares just to help things go together on our box a little bit better. So you're going to do this on all 4 sides. Now normally I would also say notch in on these, but we're going to use our corner rounder to round our corners here, so we're not going to notch in on those. The only ones we're notching in on are the smaller tabs. So you're going to do the same thing, go into score lines, cut all the way down. You can use bigger scissors too. These are kind of longer score lines. I'm going to push that out of the way so we can see. We're going to cut both of those off, and then we'll cut this one off, and we'll cut that at an angle. We'll just pull that off and cut that at an angle. Okay, so that is what one side looks like. We're going to rotate our box and do the exact same thing on this side. Okay. So I hope you guys are having a really great Sunday. We need to get some yard work done. It's fall, the leaves are falling. So I think after we finish here, I'm taking the kids outside and we're gonna get some yard work done. They're not gonna be happy, but it's all right. It has to be done, right? That's just the joys of home ownership, right? That's the joy of being an adult. You have to do all these chores that nobody wants to do, but that's okay. There's actually not that many leaves. We don't have too many big trees in our yard, so it shouldn't take too long. All right, so that's where we are now. So we've cut off all of those corners, and now we're going to take our detailed trio punch, and we're going to go through and round all of these other corners. So we're going to go in on this longer side. We're going to do both sides here. Get that nice and straight in there. We're going to go all the way around, just sticking this in. Now if you have another corner rounder, you can use any corner rounder you have. This one, let me trim this little piece that wants to hang off there. This is our detailed trio punch. I actually love this punch. You gotta fold up all those little pieces just to make sure everything is nice and square in there. On the detailed trio punch, there's little guards on here that you push your paper up against, and you have to make sure that all the sides are pushed up against those papers. Has it been cold here? You know, not really. For Albuquerque, no, it hasn't been too cold. We've actually been in like the mid-70s, but at nighttime it gets down to like the 30s. So at nighttime it's pretty cold. During the day it's not so bad. So definitely not nothing to complain about. There's lots of other places that are much colder and have much worse weather than we do right now. So it's definitely pretty nice. All right, so we've rounded all those corners, all 8 corners there. And so now we're gonna assemble our box. I'm gonna actually flip it over because we're gonna put glue on these little tabs here. I'm gonna use my Stampin' Seal Plus today. And fill those in. Just a little bit on each side. And these are just going to, just want to match that score line up with that cut edge. So that score line with the cut edge here. And that will all just go together so easily. And I just love, I think that the rounded corners on this with the little flaps, I think just make this box kind of fancy. And so you have all of these fun little rounded corners. The sides will go in, and then you have the bottom and the top. And it kind of looks like a big envelope, doesn't it? It's really cute. All right, so let's get our little chocolate marshmallow Santa in. Whatever you want to put in there. Isn't that cute? I think this is just the cutest little box. I love it. All right, now our little belly band piece. This is 10 3/4 by 2. And this is actually, I only have a couple scraps of this DSP left, so I just want to show you in the catalog what this is. This is the Peaceful Place DSP. This is in the mini catalog. It's part of that Peaceful Play Suite. This is the one with the cabin and all the trees. It's beautiful. But it's all like black and gray and white patterns. Very elegant, very pretty. But I loved this little pattern here. And so we're actually going to take our delightful tag topper punch and slide this in. I'm going to flip it over just to make sure it's nice and square. And we're going to punch each side with this. And this is going to give us that beautiful little wrapped edge. Okay. Let's get all that trash out of the way. Everything off to the side. My punch put away. So this is what you have now with that piece. So those edges have been trimmed. You want to do both sides. All right, so we're going to bring in our box. And I'm going to start, we're not going to score this one. We're just going to eyeball it and wrap it around. So I'm just going to start by eyeballing one edge into the center. And then I'm just going to kind of just fold it and pinch it all the way around. And do the same thing, fold and pinch. Now they're not going to meet exactly in this one. I did not eyeball center very well, did I? But that's okay, because this one will just be off a little bit. And it's still going to be adorable. Now, I'm going to go through with my bone folder and just make sure that the sides all match up. Just make sure everything's nice and straight. And where I've pinched, I'm just going to give it a nice little fold. And that'll make it nice and square and make it nice and snug, and it'll be great. All right, one more. Now I did tell you I was going to show you a different way to do this. Now with this one I told you I adhered this down. So when you open this one up, you do have to completely untie it and then pull this side out. The tag can stay tied on there. You have to pull it out to open it completely. Now if you don't want to do that, you can just use this as a belly band, which is what we're going to do with this one. So I'm going to show you just a couple of different ways that you can do this. So we're just going to wrap this around and we're going to thread it with our ribbon, and then it'll just slide on and off just like a regular belly band. So your recipient does not have to take it apart to get in it. But when you're just untying a bow, I don't think it's taking it apart. You're not like ripping the box apart. So, okay. I'm going to have to get my scissors. Get your ribbon. Now, if you are going to adhere it down and have your recipient open it by untying it, I like to leave a long ribbon tails so that they don't have any problems retying it. And so I'm going to tie this closed. We're just going to tie this with a ribbon. Tie it nice and closed. I just think this is so cute. And just think of all the different DSPs and the different colors you could use. Isn't that cute? So nice long ribbon there. And this will just slide on and off if you wanted to do it that way. Okay. So you can glue it down. You can just use the belly band. Whatever you want to do, whatever you think is cute and best for your recipient. All right, now we're going to attach our tag, and for that I'm going to use some of this silver elegant trim. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of that. I'm going to thread this. I'm actually going to thread it through here first. Pull it out this side. Put it through our tag. Maybe. There we go. And then we're just going to tie this kind of right onto our box. So the tag doesn't have to come off on either one of them. And then on this one, you don't even have to untie it. You can just slide it on and off. So isn't that cute? Let me pull that off so you guys will open it back up. Isn't that cute? So your choice, you can use it just as the belly band, or you can actually adhere it on where it's permanently on there. And so if you adhere it on, you just want to add adhesive to the sides and then to the bottom of that belly band. So either way, I think it's adorable. I don't think there's a wrong way to make this. So let me just stick this back on, but it does give you kind of creative freedom to do what you want to do. Isn't that cute? All right, that is today's project. Now, I will be live on Wednesday. I do need to double check my husband's work schedule, but I think it'll still be Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time. Right now, I don't have a project planned, but I will make sure I have something cute. And then next week, we'll be back for week 7. We're already over halfway through our 12 weeks of Christmas series. I can't believe it. So next week, I'll be back week 7 for 12 weeks of Christmas. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you are watching this on Facebook, please share this with your crafty friends. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video. And as always, have a fantastic week. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.